Really getting down to details now, because St Ray is tiling the parts under the sink that have never been tiled before, because they've been well out of sight, but they're useful storage spaces, and without the tiles they're very difficult to keep clean. So she's going to tile the floors, and then she's going to tile the walls as well. You can see the walls at the back there are not tiled at the moment, so she's decided to do those as well, so that's all to the good. Right, the house is largely finished now. I was going to wait until it was fully tidied, but I don't think that's ever going to happen, frankly. So I will take you around in a minute, but things like these tiles are going to disappear. The cousin's going to have them for her house, and there's still a little bit of rubbish there that's basically recycling that needs to be removed, and the washing machine needs to be cleaned and then put back in the house, and later it will be taken for repair. But I've come here today to test the electrics, and we've brought the table back from the main house because we don't really use it, so that's been put into the living room. But I've actually been here and used the socket tester already, and I've had to go back to get this lot because I've found a couple of sockets. I found 3 sockets actually that aren't testing correctly. So much for the guy replacing the mains box and then testing the circuits to make sure it's all wired in correctly. It just doesn't happen here, does it? There's no regulations or system to allow that to happen, unlike in Western countries. So the first one is that one there. That one's showing that the line and neutral are reversed. So let's tackle that first. So I'll plug the tester in, and it's showing live neutral reversed. Give me a couple of warning lights and a little buzzing sound. So I'm going to get the face off that socket and basically switch those around. But first I'm going to turn everything off. I'm going to turn everything off because the circuits are mixed up. There's no separate lighting circuits and power circuits here. We've got lighting and power off the same wires in different rooms, so I need to turn the whole thing off to be safe. Let's go back and have a look. We've now got 0 volts showing and open live, which is exactly the result we're getting in the bedroom behind me on 2 sockets, which suggests that there's a loose wire, a disconnected live wire somewhere, and I just hope it's not in the roof space. Right, let's get this faceplate off and see what's going on. Right, well, that white wire must be earth. It's plugged into the earth, and there's a lead going across to the other part on the earth. The brown I'd expect to be live, and that is actually wired into, what's it wired into? Can't tell, it's not labelled. I can't see any labelling on this. So what I'll do is I'll swap those brown and blue ones around. And that should cure the problem. And there we go, that's a quick switch around. Now let's get the tester in and get the mains back on and see if it tests correctly. These sockets are slightly different from the traditional ones, and they're a bit awkward because they've got covers inside to stop fingers going in, I guess, and the covers keep jamming. They're not very good at all, actually. Okay, good result for that one, nice and simple. On to the next one. So the next two are in this bedroom. That's showing open live, and that's showing open live. So I'm going to get the cover off this one first and see if there's any loose wires. But before I do that, let's just check this is off again. Reminds me of a story actually. I rented a house in Pattaya, and when I started to rent it, I got my tester out and I went around testing things, and I turned the mains off, and I noticed that the shower light was still on from the wall heater mounted above the shower head. And after a little bit of experimentation, I determined that the power to the shower head was actually completely enough off the mains. It bypassed the consumer unit entirely, and when I contacted the landlord about that, he was completely uninterested, and in the end I spent 1,500 baht getting an electrician to correct the problem. He had to go up into the roof space and he had to find the wires that led to the shower and actually wire them into the consumer unit onto a fresh breaker. I was absolutely horrified, because what it meant was that if there was any problem in the shower with that thing going short-circuited or anything, it had absolutely no protection at all. It had a breaker outside, the traditional breakers that they have. I can't get this off. But suddenly it's coming off. Yes, it had a breaker outside, which basically is an overheat current protection thing. It's not a short circuit, protection for if you have if you have a shock issue. Oh dear, you know what's happened here, don't you? Suntory's redone this post, I think, or someone's redone the post while this box has been in place. Now they've basically stuck it all in. Do a bit of damage. A bit of damage and a bit of mess on the floor. Someone will have to come and clean again. Christ. Yeah, just about getting it off. Flipping heck. Right, let's get this bad boy open. That needs two hands. Well, this seems to be fine. The light's very bad, and I've just looked at it with the torch from the phone. But everything's tight and everything's in the right place, so that's a bit worrying. But there are only two wires coming down. So I'm going to open the other one up and see how many wires are coming down from there, and I'm then worried that there's going to be a problem in a jointing box above this ceiling here, and obviously there's no access, so to get at it will be a pain in the arse, frankly, because that means the ceiling's got to come down. Ah, that might be the one. Yes, that'll be the jointing box that goes. Ah, right, if I get my ladder over here, I might be able to find a problem in that. I might yet get away with this. Yes, I bet you the wires go across the ceiling joists in two directions from that yellow box outside, and I bet you that's where the problem is. But let's get this off and see if we can see a loose wire in here that's causing a problem. Right, well, the wiring in here is okay as well, but there's no earth, is there? So I'm wondering if that's causing the problem on the tester, because it is designed to test the earth circuit as well. And this socket here is showing correct, so I'm going to take the cover off this and see if it's got an earth in it, because as we saw with that socket which I've just repaired, just switched the wires around, that did have an earth circuit in it. So if this has got an earth circuit in it, I'm going to take the earth circuit off and test it again and see if it comes up with the same result. Because one thing I am aware of is that people have been using those sockets in the bedroom for charging their phones, and so there's obviously power going through to them, but I wonder if it's the earth that's causing the mistest. Yes, this has got an earth. The earth is represented by the red wire. It's going into the earth part of that socket there, which is the 3-pin socket. So you've got two lights, which is the kitchen and the bathroom, on this plate, and you've got a 3-pin socket and a 2-pin socket. And obviously I'm plugging into the 3-pin socket with my tester, and it's working fine. So I'm going to disconnect that red wire now and just see if I get the same result on the tester. It's obviously, I think, me misunderstanding the test, but all to the good that I've checked the wiring in each of these sockets anyway. So I've taken that wire out. It's very, very simple to do. You just insert a screwdriver into the long slot next to where it goes into a round hole, and that disengages it. I've put my tester in there. Obviously at the moment it's showing open live because the power is off. It's showing 0 volts. So let's go and turn the mains on now. And go and see what we've got on here. It's showing 0 volts and open live. And that's because I've disconnected the earth. Let's put the earth back in and check it again. Right, the earth wire's back into its hole, and we've got 222 volts and correct polarity. So that must be the issue with those other two sockets, the fact that they haven't been provided with an earth wire, which is not very satisfactory, is it, in terms of electrical safety? I understand that, but it's just how they do it here in Thailand, and I'm not going to start messing about having an earth line fitted. It's going to require a lot of work to get earth wires into those two sockets, and well, to be honest with you, I'm not going to be living here, so it doesn't concern me that much. That's how it is.